Well, have you ever sent an email and thought, holy cow, can I recall that? I didn't mean to send it to that person, or I didn't finish my thought, or I wanted someone to read it before I sent it, and somehow the email has now been sent. What we're going to talk about for this week's Tuesday Tech Tip is how to be able to recall an email. Now, it doesn't mean you always can. We'll talk about that a bit later about what perimeters there are, but we'll talk about the option that it can be done. I'm Curtis Hyden with Colorado Computer Support, and thanks for joining me for this week's Tuesday Tech Tip. As always, I really appreciate it. So for the sake of time, we're going to talk about Microsoft Outlook today, or Microsoft Office 365. The Gmail option of this, and there's multiple other platforms, so the Gmail option of how to do this, you can find the link inside of the email for which you're watching this video. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So how it works with Microsoft Outlook is you just go to your sent folder, and then you need to double click on the email that you just sent that you want to retract. Now, this little icon is inside of the email, and it's more actions icon. You want to click that, and what it's going to do is going to give you options inside of it. It looks like this. It just says recall the message. Then when you recall the message, it provides two options. The first option is to recall the message, and then the other one is to recall and to unwrite or to rewrite the message, which you then have the opportunity to do that. And then at that point, you can make that change. Whenever an email is ever recalled, or if it's caught, you can pull it back. There will always be a notification sent to that person that an email was recalled by the sender, and that person can only see the subject line for which you sent them. So that's the one caveat, is even if you do get it back, the subject line will always be visible to that person. They would be notified that an email was pulled back or recalled from them. Now, there are some perimeters of how this may not work. Now, if you do send an email to someone and it does get opened, someone does open it, you can't get it back. It only helps, or it can only be recalled if it's an unread email. Now, also, it can only be recalled if it lands in someone's inbox. Let's say if you send it to someone and they have a different folder that your emails go through, just because maybe your boss, coworker, a friend. Unfortunately, if it does get moved to a different folder, it is unremovable or is unrecallable. You can't get it back. Also, if it goes to a public folder, or if you're sending this to someone who has a different email platform. So if you're on Office 365 and you send it to someone on G Suite, or they have it through GoDaddy, unfortunately, they are not compatible through that aspect. It can only be done when it's on the same email platform. So all those things need to be kept in mind as you're doing that. And also, mobile apps will play a different component too. If you're sending it to a mobile app, or if someone opens it in a mobile app, or you send from a mobile app, it doesn't mean you're going to have the same recall action. So this can really actually only be done whenever you're in front of your computer through that platform, and if the other person receiving is on that same platform. So I feel like that's a lot we just threw at you. So if you do have any other questions or stuck in a bind, you're always more than welcome to reach out to us here at Colorado Computer Support. Now, the best thing you can do is just avoid this situation of what should I do whenever this happens? Well, if you're ever writing a challenging email or you sent to the wrong person, the best thing to do is just verify who is in that subject line, or who is the receiver of that message before you hit send. So if you're trying to send it to a Steve, but you know 5 of them, or maybe John or Rebecca, make sure you're just sending it to the right person. And if you're ever writing a challenging email to someone that you might need to have someone overview or look at before you hit send, the best thing to do is just go ahead and delete that person's name out of the recipient section. That way it's left blank, so if it actually does hit send for an accident, it's going to kick back and say, hey, there's no email address in here for it to be sent to. That's just a couple pointers about how to keep yourself in a safer position when you are working on those type of specific emails. As always, I'm Curtis Hyde with Colorado Computer Support. If you need any additional email assistance or any type of business pickle you're in with your IT, feel free to reach out to us. You can call us at 719-439-0599 or find us on the web at www.coloradosupport.com. Hope you have a great day. Thank you as always for joining me for this week's Tuesday Tech Tip. We'll see you next time.